I feel that people like Judge John Fairbanks are they are a very insidious type of criminal. I feel people like John Fairbanks. I feel that they are right up there with rapists, killers, pedophiles, drug dealers. I feel that he ranks right up there, but for a whole different reason, ladies and gentlemen. And that reason is it's actually because he abused his position of power, basically. If you are unsure of who John Fairbanks was, back in 1989, the location was Newport, New Hampshire. John Fairbanks. Geez, I'm gonna leave that flub in anyway. Judge John Fairbanks. He was a judge in this little community. I mean, it was like actually a small community. Well, he had a side business. I think it was like an investment business where he could basically, make some side cash. And it was later revealed that he basically took over, I think it was like $10 million. Let me check. Let's see here. Yeah, $10 million in a 20-year period from his community. People who invested their money with him, he took their money and he split. He split. And to me, I think that is even, that's as bad as, on a whole different level as killers, rapists, pedophiles, and all that, because you have somebody who actually took their time to become somebody that you could respect. You from birth, we are raised to respect, like say police, paramedics, firefighters, judges. We are trained to respect these people because we feel that they are they are the good guys. They are the good guys. Well, Judge John Fairbanks, he basically took that trust that he built up and he manipulated and he basically stole these people's life savings. He stole it. There is no other excuse. He stole their money, and because of that, I think he's even really more insidious than your typical type of criminals because it takes time to build up trust. To build up trust and then to take advantage of somebody, that's like insidious level cruelty right there, ladies and gentlemen. So, but before we get on to the case itself, let's take a look at the case preview. Here it is. 3, 2, 1.
Judge John C. Fairbanks was a respected pillar of his community. The residents of Newport, New Hampshire regularly turned to him whenever they needed help. No one had any idea that all the while, the judge was quietly robbing them blind.
Okay, so that was the case. That was the preview for the case we are about to see, and we are about to see that case right about now. Okay, are you guys ready to see how a corrupt judge was able to basically steal $10 million from his neighbors and his friends? Well, if you are, get ready because it's about to start in 3, 2, 1. Hold on. What's going on? There it goes.
Newport, New Hampshire, population 7,000, reflects the values that America was built upon. A small...
Okay, so the one thing I want to check really quickly is what is the size of Newport, New Hampshire right now? So let's do this. Okay, what is the population of Newport, New Hampshire? I think that's how you, oh, not, oh God, I misspelled it, but it actually picked up what I was trying to say. So at least it's actually gone down. They said 7,000 in the video, but as you can see here, or right there, it's actually, wow, they've actually had a little bit of of a decrease, it sounds like. Huh. I would have thought that would have been up to like at least 10,000. I was not anticipating it on actually going down. So that's actually kind of shocking to me.
A town where successive generations are born and grow old, where everyone knows everyone else.
Do we truly know who everybody is in our community? I always hear that it's like, oh, it's a community where everybody knows everybody else. Apparently, they didn't know this judge. They didn't know that he was fucking them out of their money.
Where relationships are founded on honesty and trust. But on a quiet morning in May of 1989, a crack appeared in that foundation. Judge John Fairbanks, a lifelong resident, asked his court clerk to find a replacement for him and left town.
Oh, gee whiz, why would he want to leave town? You would think that somebody who's a notable and respected judge, that they just wouldn't want to up and leave town right away.
At the time, no one imagined that Newport would never be the same again. Judge John C. Fairbanks was a respected jurist, a successful attorney whose family had lived in the Newport, New Hampshire area for 3 generations. On June 6, 1989, residents were astonished by the news that Fairbanks had resigned his judgeship and abandoned his law practice. A few days later, their shock turned to outrage. This pillar of the community was apparently the worst kind of thief.
And like I said, that's kind of like why I say that criminals like John Fairbanks, they are right up there with the worst of the worst. Not because they only did the crime, but the fact that they had to have gained a lot of trust in order for them to do what they did. So that's like really evil.
A man who's stolen more than $10 million from his friends and neighbors.
You understand that you have a right to present evidence in your behalf.
For 33 years, Judge Fairbanks presided over the District Court of Newport.
Thank you. I'll get to that later.
Because Newport is a small community, Fairbanks' court duties were limited, and he was able to maintain a lucrative law practice, specializing in probate law.
John was a nice guy. Everybody in the community liked him. Nobody had a bad word for him. He just loved his family.
No, I never would have thought that somebody could have done that. He could have done something like this. It was totally out of the realm of the possible, ladies and gentlemen. It drives me nuts when people say this about any case I've heard from Unsolved Mysteries. Oh, I never thought he could steal all that money. I never thought that he was going to become a murderer. I never thought he was a sexual deviant. It drives me the fuck nuts when I hear people say that, because guess what? Guess what? At the end of the day, everybody is capable of doing anything. There is no such thing as a human being that is free of wanting to commit any sort of crime. No. On any given point, hell, given a wrong day, I could fucking go out and just go apeshit crazy. It's possible for anybody. For people to go, I never thought he would do something like that. You just don't know how the way the world is. Basically, that's the way I'm trying to say.
I loved his children, his grandchildren. Just a great guy.
He was a great guy. He would never do anything like that. He loved his grandchildren. He loved his family. Keep in mind, now his family has to deal for the rest of their existence with the fact that their grandfather, who loved and adored them, stole $10 million. $10 million.
Fairbanks was honest. I mean, that was his reputation. You might know.
Should we really be using the word honest in relation to John Fairbanks? Oh God, I can't recall the name of that lady. Here, let's do this really quick. Oh God, I can't recall what her name. It was a case on Unsolved Mysteries. Mother who poisoned her children. Unsolved. Marie Hillary or whatever her name is. Marie Hill? Patricia? No, not Patricia. Why are we getting Patricia Stallings? No, she was innocent. Marie Hill. Let's see here. Let's do this. Hill Unsolved. Oh, Marie Hilly? How are you fucking pronounce that bitch's last name? Hold on. Ah, fuck. This lady here. This motherfucker. She poisoned her husband and killed her husband. Marie Hilly? Hilly? Whatever. She poisoned and killed her husband. She poisoned her son. It's to say that Judge John Fairbanks was an honorable person is like saying that Marie Hilly was a loving mother who would never wish harm upon her family. Do you see where I went with this?
Knock him for other things, but the one thing everybody always said about John Fairbanks was he was honest. So these people
He honestly took their money.
had complete faith and trust and confidence in him.
When a client died, Judge Fairbanks would visit his widow, not just to offer condolences, but to relieve her of her financial worries.
I can't tell if Robert Stack was trolling right here when he said that. Well, he went there not just to give his sympathies, but to relieve them of their money.
Good morning. Right in.
Hello, Jean. Nice of you to see you.
Well, my husband grew up with Judge Fairbanks here in town. The families were very friendly. And through the years, anything pertaining to law, he would go to Judge Fairbanks.
John Fairbanks was settling my uncle's estate. And then, of course, I had the estate and I had income tax to do. And I knew him, so I went back to him for the income taxes. And I went to
I don't blame these people at all. I don't blame these people at all. They like, it's like that guy said, they trusted him. They trusted him. So I don't hold these people at all. You know, I'm not like shitting on them at all. I'm shitting on John Fairbanks. These people ultimately, they it's like that they kind of, you know, they fell into what I said. They took a guy at face value. Me, I don't trust anyone. I don't fucking trust anyone. A guy comes up to me and goes, "Hey, do you have some money for me to get gas?" I look at them. I look at the fact that they have brand new shoes on. I look at the fact that they're holding a Starbucks cup. No, they don't need my fucking money. They definitely don't have an issue with gas. If you can afford $200 Jordans and a $10 macchiato or whatever the fuck it's called, you don't need money. I trust no one. I fucking trust no one. And I think that's because of the day and age we're growing up. But, you know, these people literally, they kind of, they took this guy, the judge, at face value. They looked at the fact that he, lived in the community. You know, his family was there for like 3 generations. And to them, that's enough to trust somebody. Not for me, ladies and gentlemen. Not for me at all.
him every year for doing my income tax.
Patricia.
Okay, well, in that lady's defense, you know, back in the 80s, if I was doing taxes back in the 80s, hell, I'd want to go to somebody else also. I'm not lying. I hate doing income tax nowadays. Back then, it was even worse. So, you know, I kind of don't blame her on that. I don't blame her on that at all.
Sawyer had been coming to the judge for advice since 1958. In August of 1987, she agreed to turn over her stock certificates to Fairbanks so he could inventory her holdings.
He called me on the phone and asked about my could I get the stocks that day?
I'll take that, Patricia.
Judge Fairbanks and I had talked about doing an estate plan and changing
Right
my
over
will.
there, Patricia.
So many people had doubted.
If you just lay all that out on my desk.
When we got to Judge Fairbanks,
He never wanted to help her. Let's just cut the shit, ladies and gentlemen. John Fairbanks never wanted to help that lady. It wasn't about helping her set up a will, because in his mind, the minute that he dumped all those certificates onto his desk, from that moment forward, he could fucking care less about that lady that was needing his help. It was just like, how can I quickly turn this into like liquid assets for him? That's all he cared about. He didn't care about the elderly lady at all. If he cared about her, he wouldn't have done that shit to her.
Bank's office, he said he would inventory them, and he would let me know how much they were worth, and we would get together and make the will.
Now, let's see what we have here.
Yeah. Let's look at what let's look at what you're going to get. Yeah, that was just a Freudian slip. I'm trying to help you. Let's see what we can get you. Okay, she's out of the room. Okay, what do I have now? This guy was fucking scummy as shit. Scummy as shit. He would hate people like me today. He would hate people like me because I do not go by that whole bullshit like, oh, you gotta respect your elders. Just because somebody reaches the age of 1,000, it doesn't mean they are instantly deemed your respect. I don't buy that shit at all. He would hate somebody like me.
Is this everything, Patricia?
This is everything.
You're sure?
Is this everything, Patricia? I want to make sure that you're getting the best you can. I want to make sure you're getting the best you can.
Yes.
Your uncle didn't have any deposits in any other banks.
No. He never got back to me, and I prodded John a few times, but he was awful busy, and he hadn't got to it.
You know, right there, if it was me and I was that lady's grandson, I'd be like, Grandma, we need to really clamp down on this guy. Something is not right here, Grandma. This guy, he is not answering your calls. He's not answering your questions. Something is not right, Grandma. We gotta do some shit. Well, Jeff, he's just busy. No, Grandma, that's your money he's messing with.
And then we'll be able to plan the estate. Yes. Patricia, you don't have any idea how much this is worth.
I have no idea.
All right. There.
October 12th, 1987.
Now, before somebody gets on my ass about it, I do want to say that I understand that the guy you see here, that is just an actor. I understand that that's an actor. When I'm talking about John Fairbanks and I'm getting upset, I'm not talking about this guy here because I know he's just an actor. I'm talking about the actual person, John Fairbanks. And to those who are not in the know, I guess you could really say when it comes to Unsolved Mysteries, basically before they produce these cases, they would get like testimony. They would have like literal like just records, and they would make up the script of these cases that you see. So what you're seeing here is what was like kind of said to his victims. That's why I'm constantly just kind of ragging on John Fairbanks, not the actor, but the person himself, because what we are hearing is what was told to the producers of the show from the victims, like Patricia here.
Black Monday on Wall Street. The repercussions were felt worldwide, even in Judge Fairbanks' courtroom.
How fast were you going?
60.
How do you know you were going 60?
Well, that little device on my dashboard, it had the little arrow, and it was pointing at the numbers 6 and 0. What kind of fucking question is that? Well, how do you know you're going 60 miles? What, was she driving with the force? Was her eyes closed? What the fuck are you trying to get at, Fairbanks?
Oh, I almost never go.
We'll take a brief recess.
All rise, please.
Yeah, I was just called out. Somebody found out that I'm embezzling money. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
The stock market crash I remember very, very well. It was the judge's 65th birthday. He made a couple comments about turning 65 is just wonderful. The stock market crashes on your 65th birthday. The secret of a stock market crash is not to panic.
And here he is. He's probably in his room over there at the courthouse, or whatever, like his personal room or whatever it's called that the judge resides in. He's probably like walking in circles. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Hello, Ed. Now, what's the problem?
He said if he panicked, that he would lose over $3 million in the crash.
Motherfucker, you're a judge. How the hell do you have $3 million? Even back in the 80s, $3 million was not easy to acquire. And here we go. Here we have a judge, a fucking judge, you know, of a small little community, and he has $3 million. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me.
But that he wasn't going to panic. He made it through court real quick and left the building. But I was real concerned about him. His mannerisms were different. He was very, very withdrawn that day.
John, when am I going to be getting some dividends?
Oh, you'll be getting it
Within
soon.
a month, the effects of the crash had trickled down to Patricia Sawyer.
See, right there, the one thing I like is how she started grilling John Fairbanks. When am I going to get my dividends? You know, people that I've seen on television and out here in person and everything, they're kind of afraid when it comes to investments. It's like they feel like they should not bother the people that they're investing money with. Well, you know, they feel like, well, I just got to trust the system. I just got to trust the system and make sure, you know, I got to believe that everything's going to work out. You have the right, as a person who, you know, invested your money, with this person, with this company or whatever, you have a right to constantly grill them. You have the right to know exactly what is happening to your money. You have a right to know, like, if your money is safe or not. You should not feel bad to ask questions.
Him why I wasn't getting dividend checks, and he said that due to the stock market crash, my stocks had gone down, and he was turning the dividends back in to bring the stocks up to where they were before the crash.
Okay, the only thing I would have done if I was in Patricia's place, I'd be like, okay, that sounds fair and fine. And the judge would be like, yeah, Jeff, yeah, that's really what's happening. I'll be like, yeah, I understand that. You got proof. Proof? Yeah, evidence, paperwork, motherfucker. I want to see paperwork. Do you have evidence of what you're claiming? You know, that's what I would have done. But like I said, you got to remember, these type of criminals, they like to target people that may not know the system that well. So they like to target people who are easily trusting. So like I said originally, he would fucking hate somebody like me. He would fucking hate me. He'd be like, oh shit, it's Jeff. He's gonna be questioning me again. I'm not gonna fuck with his money. I'm just gonna invest it like I should, and that way, if he comes questioning me, I'll be like, okay, here's all the fucking paperwork. You know, like,
Before the drop in the stock market, and I believed that.
I called Fairbanks in the spring of '88 because I had not been receiving accountings, and it was at that time that he told me that he had been spending my brother's principal.
John Tweedy had engaged Fairbanks as legal guardian for his brother Richard after their mother died. Richard Tweedy is a schizophrenic who has been institutionalized in a New Hampshire hospital for more than 40 years. In November of 1988, John Tweedy insisted that Fairbanks meet him face to face to discuss concerns about his brother's holdings.
John, how are you?
How are you, John? Good to see
Well, like
you.
you wanted, I brought the account.
Well, very good. I'm glad you did. I had certain questions.
I'm glad you did. My response would be, yeah, I would hope you fucking would. I requested you to come out here. I would expect you to bring all the fucking paperwork. I want to know exactly every cent of what I invested. I want to know where every fucking cent is going. Well, I brought the stuff you had. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Questions to ask him about the estate. I mean, there was rhetoric in his response, but he didn't answer the questions.
Don't worry about that, John. Here, I want you to take a look at this.
I take it out. Foing! I want to know where the fuck's my money. I don't want to see some fucking paperwork. I want to know where my money is. And if you don't tell me where my fucking money is, I'm going to do something horrible to you, like in the next 3 minutes, possibly. If I find out you're robbing my grandmother, oh, it's going to be a bad day for you.
Well, I will, but maybe you can answer something else. When did my brother's estate go into the red?
Well, John, I haven't got all those
I would not have accepted that. And the fact, here's the scary thing. Here's the scary thing. His brother's estate went into the red, and Fairbanks never told him. You would think that if this guy was as honorable as a lot of people thought he would make it known to his investors. He's like, hey, John, I am sorry. Your brother's estate is in the red. We are having a lot of problems. We are trying to fix it up. But yeah, I just want to let you know it's in the red. And I apologize. He didn't do anything like that. He was just going to let this guy fucking float in the breeze.
Figures up here in my head, but you come back to my office later in the week and I'll lay it all out for you.
Hey, awesome. We'll go right now. Wait, what? No, you and me, we're going to go for a fucking ride. You and me are going to go to your little office. Oh, we are? Yeah, we are. We're going to go to your fucking office. You're going to pull out whatever ledger has my brother's information on it. And that information better fucking match what you're telling me.
It was at that time I found out that 75% of my brother's money was gone.
75%! And he didn't even tell this guy about it. 75% was just gone. It was gone. It was like Thanos snap. It's gone. It's never going to be seen again.
Why didn't you inform me when his estate went into the red?
Oh, John, I tried to, but you're a hard man to...
Motherfucker, I live right here. I get drunk all day. Why it's not that fucking hard. And here you go, oh, you're a hard man to find. Man, motherfucker, keep your hands off me. Like I said, get in your car. We're going to go for a ride.
Fine. Now, look, I've got another appointment. You come in later in the week, and we'll take care of everything. See you later, John.
Okay, John. Take care.
God, this guy was, I'm sorry to say, this guy, and like I said, it's a different time. This guy was trusting me, like I said, be like, no, we're going to go take a ride to your office now. We're going to go to your office right now. You're going to make me a nice free complimentary cup of coffee. We're going to sit down, and you're going to show me exactly how it is that my brother's estate went into the red, and you never told me. When it comes to money, I'm fucking tight with that shit.
If my brother's estate was in the red, and he knew my brother's equity in the real estate, if he was going to really take care of my brother's affairs, he would have notified me at that time and said, we have to sell some land.
Exactly. He didn't even reach out to this guy. He didn't fucking reach out because I keep wanting to say Judge John Fairbanks, but I just want to refer to him as John Fairbanks. Because John Fairbanks, he was hoping that all these people were fucking stupid. That's what he was hoping, that they'd be fucking stupid and they wouldn't ask questions. He would not make it in today's climate with the way that everybody is so fucking skeptical of everybody else.
But he didn't. Why didn't he? Well, of course, I was to find out why he didn't.
John Tweedy refused to accept the judge's explanations about his brother's estate and began his own investigation.
And that's the way it should be. If you're having some concerns about the people you're in business with, it's okay to investigate them. It's okay to investigate them. If they are actually on the up and up and they find out you're investigating them, I'm pretty sure that they'd be okay with that, just to show that, hey, see, I am honorable. I am doing the right thing, I'm glad that you investigated me, because if I did not want to be investigated, it would make me look bad. But by the fact that I would be openly say, yeah, if you don't trust me, go ahead and investigate me. See everything. I want you to see everything that I'm doing so you can see that I'm telling you the truth.
I found that he had sold stock, and he had underreported what he'd gotten for the stock. He had underreported what he'd gotten for dividends. And after a couple of weeks of this, I came up with $20,000 that was missing. It turned out that was only a part of what was missing, but that was all I could determine from public records. And it was at that point I realized that, well, he was embezzling. And I've been raised to believe that when you see a crime committed, you call the cops. And so I called the cops.
We drove over to look at Fairbanks's house here in Newport. And we saw the house, and we felt, gee, that's got to be $500,000. We were aware that he had a home in Agunquit, Maine, which is a pretty expensive area to live, right on the ocean, that was worth $600,000 or $700,000. And we looked at each other and said, this guy's a thief.
At least this guy got it. He goes like, hey, this guy must be a thief. Yeah, because guess what? He fucking was.
Judge Fairbanks' house of cards was tumbling down. On June 6, 1989, he resigned from the bench and retreated to his summer home in Maine. When John Tweedy's charges were made public, other disgruntled clients began to come forward with their suspicions.
It only takes like that one card to fall over, and then everything else starts to topple. Everything starts to topple. The structure cannot remain sound if one bolt falls out. It just cannot remain sound.
I had no idea that he was doing anything underhandedly until all this came out that morning. Judge Fairbanks had taken several other people, not only my account, but others in town. I wasn't the only one.
He put these stocks into this stock brokerage firm as my agent, and I had never signed any papers, given him any authority. I had never signed my name on the certificates. He had done that illegally.
Fairbanks had, in my opinion, had been doing this for so long that he had sort of milked dry most of the accounts that he had been stealing from. And along came Patricia Sawyer, who had almost $1 million in assets that he got in his hands. And it was like...
And this is back to what I said, that basically, you know, I would, like I said, I would tell him, literally, we are taking a ride. You and me are going to go back to that office. You're going to show me everything. And what you say better fucking match what that paperwork says. Oh, wrong button.
Pounced on it.
Authorities now suspect that over a 20-year period, Fairbanks may have stolen more than $10 million. As the investigation reached its climax, Judge Fairbanks spoke with Tom Hannigan from his home in Maine.
I told him that all I wanted to do was to have him produce documents which would show that his accounting was true and correct.
Look, let's keep this as quiet as possible.
That pissed me off right there. Well, let's try to keep this quiet as possible. No, you don't deserve to have quiet as possible. No, you deserve to have a big fucking bullhorn right behind you, constantly going off saying, thief, thief, embezzler, thief. You know, everything he doesn't want the community to know, it should be dragged out for everybody to see.
I don't want this to become a big thing.
We agreed to a meeting.
Okay.
And then he called me maybe a week before the meeting and said that he had to postpone it. And I said, okay, and we set another date.
He was going to run. If that was me, I was on the phone with him, and he goes, oh, we got to meet up later next week or whatever. As soon as I hung up, I would order police, whatever law authority I have, I would order to keep an eye on him. Because I would know that piece of shit would start to run.
And then when the next date came up, I came over to Newport, New Hampshire to interview Fairbanks, and he wasn't there.
Who would have thought?
Finally, on December 28th, 1989, the judge was indicted on 4 counts of theft. The indictments listed more than 100 checks written by Fairbanks.
1,843,000. Wait, yeah, 1,843,000. Wait, what is that? Wait a minute. Hold on, let me just check this again. Yeah, it has to be, yeah, 1,843,000. Yeah, $1,843,274.29. I'm sorry, I'm sorry about my math right there. All right.
Which transferred money from client accounts to Fairbanks' personal accounts. The next day, Fairbanks' pickup truck was found abandoned near his house in Maine. The Judge had disappeared and has not been seen since.
Who would, I say this a lot when it comes to criminals, but oh my God, who would have fucking thought that a criminal ran? Who would have fucking thought that they would not lack the honor? I miss the days of the honorable criminals where they would actually wait for punishment.
This has affected my life to the fact that I wonder what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have to sell land, maybe sell the farm. And the farm has been in my family since the original settlers came from Massachusetts with the rock steams.
Well, I was in total shock. I still don't think I've come out of it. I just can't believe that anyone could do such a thing.
He had a double life. He had two totally separated lives. And one of them was fine. You know, one of them was a man of great integrity, respected by the community, and the other, the other one was, well, classical. You know, he was into all sorts of things which are very shaky, very shady, and quite immoral. And very few, if anybody, knew the two existed.
Okay, here, I will read this to you. Hold on, let's fast forward this up a little bit. Okay, so basically, 5 years after he disappeared, Judge John Fairbanks was found dead in a Las Vegas hotel room. He committed suicide. Oh. Who would have thought that a criminal who could sense the walls were starting to come in around him, who would have thought that he would have committed suicide? Oh my God. Whoever thought that they would do something like that? Authorities do not expect to locate any of the stolen money. They believe he spent it all before he died, or spent it before he died. Duh! Duh! Okay, so that was the case of John Fairbanks, one of the worst type of people you can trust. He, he convinced an entire community of people to trust him, and he literally took their money from them. When I return, it will be with the Unsolved Mysteries Wiki, so stay tuned and I'll be right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so let's do this, and then let's do this, and then let's switch it over to the Unsolved Mysteries Wiki, and I forgot to actually switch back. There we go. Wait, back. There we go. Okay, so this is, if you are new to this series, this is where I go to the Unsolved Mysteries Wiki, and I look up the case of what we just watched, and today it is the case of the dishonorable Judge John Fairbanks. So his real name was John C. Fairbanks. Known aliases. He was wanted for fraud and embezzlement. He was missing since December 28th, 1989. Little known fact, I just turned 8 shortly, around that period. Okay, we already know the case details. We already know what kind of piece of shit he was. So, let's extra notes. The case was featured as part of the October 9th, 1991 episode of Unsolved Mysteries. At that point, I just turned, nope, not yet. I was almost 9 years old at that point. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just going to kind of read from here down because we already kind of know what ended up happening. So, Fairbanks had been hiding out in a luxurious condo complexes around the Quebec City from 1991 to early 1994 under the assumed name Richard Mansfield. So guess what? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He can't even say, I didn't know what I was doing was wrong. He knew what he did was wrong because he went under an alias. He went under an alias. He knew what he was doing was wrong. Telling people he was a retired history professor who taught in Ottawa and Boston. Police doubt they will ever find the money he stole. They believe that Fairbanks spent all his clients' money before he took his own life. Yeah. we fucking already know that. The guy was fucking scum. He was scum, and sadly, the sad thing is, the long arm of the law will not be able to punish him because he took the coward's way out. Okay, so we do have a Judge John Fairbanks, but I am not going to look at that because I do not feel that if we that criminals like this should not have any sort of fond people fondly remembering him. He took $10 million. To me, he shouldn't even have this link. He should not have this link. He is a piece of shit. He is a piece of shit. If this was a perfect world, his ass would have been tossed out into the ocean after he died. Let the fucking animals deal with him, But anyway, so that was the case of Judge John Fairbanks. This really, if anything, there's a lesson here, ladies and gentlemen, and the lesson is that we really need to always kind of keep an eye on the people who we do business with, because we don't know if that person's actually legitimate or if they're a piece of shit thief that will take everything from you. Okay, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to say thank you to everybody who took the time out of their day to watch this video. It means a lot to me to actually cover these cases from Unsolved Mysteries. And yeah, this is a case that really pissed me off because you had somebody who took the trust that the community had in him, and he literally just bled them dry. He bled them dry. He didn't even fucking care. If he actually cared about the people that he was doing this to, he would have alerted them when their money was like in the red and everything. He didn't care. He did not care. But yeah, so that is the case of Judge John Fairbanks, and we can now put this in the file cabinet of Unsolved Mysteries. Another one has been covered, and yeah, so coming up, ladies and gentlemen, coming on up, we have several cases, a total of 3 cases that I'm going to be covering over the next few weeks. On Halloween, ladies and gentlemen, that's right, the ghost and the goblins are coming out for Halloween, and that means 2 cases of Unsolved Mysteries commentary. That's right, on Halloween, you're not getting just 1 case, you're getting 2. The first case, it is a case that I hold near and dear to my black frozen heart, and that is the case of the St. James Hotel. St. James Hotel has been said to be one of the most haunted hotels in America, and basically this is like one of the first cases I can actually recall watching when I was a little child. That little kid right there, he still scares the shit out of me, ladies and gentlemen. I see that kid and I'm like, okay, I'm backing up. I'm fucking backing up. You stay on the bar where you're twirling your little fucking glass. I'm gonna go over here and stack some chairs, okay? But yeah, I love this case. This case is fucking scary as hell. It is scary as hell, and yeah. Let's see here. Up next, we have the case, which is a beloved case. Everybody loves this case. I present to you the case of the Tallman house. Basically, this family bought a haunted bunk bed. I know it sounds weird, but they bought a haunted bunk bed, and this haunted bunk bed was brought into their house. And basically, once that bunk bed came into the house, the ghosts and everything came into the house, and they were fucking with this poor family. This poor family was never the same after they bought this bunk bed. But yeah, this case, oh my god, this case is like one of the most fondly remembered cases of Unsolved Mysteries. And I don't blame the people. I do not blame them at all. Finally, on November 1st, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting back to back to back cases of Unsolved Mysteries commentary, because on, I think it's the 39th anniversary. I may be wrong about the number, but I think it's the 39th anniversary. November 1st, it is the case of Chaim Weiss. Basically, Chaim, he was attending, I think it's called a yeshiva. It's like a Jewish school, if I remember correctly. And sadly, this kid was brutally murdered. And due to his people's religion, they cannot really make accusations without there being any sort of like evidence. So basically, this is going to be like, I think it's the 39th anniversary of the death of Chaim Weiss. This is actually an interesting case, and I will be covering this on the 1st of November, which is a Saturday, if I remember correctly. Let me check my calendar here. Let me check. No, yep, it's a Saturday. It is a Saturday. So, you know, like I said, back to back to back cases of unsolved mysteries. I'm excited. I am fucking excited. Okay, now into some other business before I sign off for the day. I am actually getting ready for the Thanksgiving and Christmas special installments of Unsolved Mysteries commentary. And to that, you actually get a chance to pick what is going to be uploaded on those 2 days. So let's switch over to this. Wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. That's why. There it goes. I posted a couple links on my YouTube channel. Here, there we go. And it will take you to a couple different polls. One poll is for Christmas, excuse me, and the other is for Thanksgiving. Basically, you're going to be voting on 2 different cases per poll. So regarding Thanksgiving. Here, let's start with Thanksgiving. So you're going to be, the option A is Chucky McGivern. And basically, Chucky McGivern, he contracted chicken pox. 3 days later, he actually also contracted Reye's syndrome. He ended up seeing a ghost, and come to find out, the ghost is that of I think it was like a priest or something. I may be wrong about it, but they believe that this priest helped Chucky get healthy. The other case is the Cokeville elementary school explosion. In 1986, 2 goddamn cowards, a husband and wife, they went to a school with a big ass bomb, and they were going to blow up the school and kill everybody. The bomb went off, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the bomb went off. But here's the catch. The only 2 people that died in that explosion, or died, period, was the husband and wife. The husband ended up committing suicide, and the wife, she ended up blowing herself up when she was being too fucking stupid. So you get a vote on those 2 cases. And then for Christmas, ladies and gentlemen, you have the choice of voting for option A, which is the explosion of the West End Baptist Church. Basically, 15 members of the church's choir were late getting to the church. They each had unique reasons why. The church exploded. They think that this was like an act of God that prevented those people from being killed. It turned out to be a natural gas explosion. And then the option B, it's Logan Carroll. Basically, Logan was born, was a stillborn or stillbirth, whatever you want to call it. About 30 minutes later, roughly, give or take, he actually came to life. It was a miracle. So you're going to be able to vote on those cases. So let's take a quick look right now. Let's look at the straw poll for the Thursday, or for the Thanksgiving case. Like I said, I created 2 different polls so far. Let's see here. Show results. So it looks like somebody voted for Chucky McGivern, which I want to say thank you. I just, yeah. So this is basically how it is. You can actually go and see, go and vote. You have voting ends in 49 days. And then the other one for Christmas, let's see, how is that one going? Okay, so let's show results. Also, 1 person has voted, and it looks like West End Baptist Church. And I just, like I said, I want to say thank you. And this poll, actually, this voting ends in 77 days. So you still have quite a while. You still have quite a while. I'm excited. It's going to be it's going to be a busy, the holidays are coming up. It's going to be busy. It's going to be busy, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait, especially when it comes to those ghost cases, ladies and gentlemen. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, and make sure if you still have a grandmother or an elderly family member and they are wanting to invest their money, make sure you help them, because you don't know who the person is that they're dealing with. Peace out.